this is getting really fucking annoying. They are looking at a team in their division that is doing exactly what they should be doing. And, okay, we have a need, let's address it. We have another need, let's address that. We have another need, address that. Instead, this team is doubling down on the defense-first approach that got them nowhere last season. Let's compare the lineup. So remember what we just ran through with the Yankees. Volpe, Chisholm, Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, Wells, Trevino, Dominguez, Cabrera, and then Rice LeMahieu. On the Blue Jays side, Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Wagner, Schneider as a platoon at DH, Kirk, Varsho, Jimenez, and then Clement and Loperfido. It's not close. This Blue Jays lineup is not close to being good enough to hang with those guys and compete in the American League East. And then the pitching staff, which was supposed to be the gold standard and the thing that got Toronto back into the playoffs last year, right now it is Gausman, Barrios, Bassett, that's fine. And then Francis Rodriguez. It's not as good as the Yankees is. And then you look at the bullpen, Green, Garcia, Swanson, it ain't close. This team is still several moves away from being able to compete the way that they should be able to compete when you look at the prime years of Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And so again, when you look at this whole thing from a Blue Jay standpoint and see where we thought they would be by 2024 and where things are at right now, it just feels like such a large gap. And it is an unimaginable amount of mismanagement from the Blue Jays that I think is really setting this team back. And the thought that Atkins is once again in charge of this team is shocking. And now, first of all, answering the question in the chat, Toxic, you don't think Manoah makes it to the rotation this year? He had UCL surgery in June, so I wasn't sure he was going to be ready. But let me see here now. Manoah injury. Let's see. Do we have... Okay, so out for the rest of 2024, and we'll cut into his 2025. So we will see. Like, is there a world where he comes in and fits in this rotation? Sure, probably. But I think that will be more middle of the year than anything else for the Blue Jays. I don't think he makes the opening day roster with Toronto. I think he works his way into that here this year. So, like, looking at it right now, if they made the moves that people are talking about, so one of Santander and Teoscar Hernandez, we'll say put them in left. Let's just say, for argument's sake, because it's the name that's come up the most, let's say Santander, and Corbin Burns. So then your top of the order is Springer, Bichette, Vlad, and Santander. That still, I don't think, gets you to the Yankees, but it's at least better. And then a starting rotation of Burns, Gausman, Barrios, that is a good 1-2-3. And then Bassett as your 4 is exactly kind of where you want him at this point. And then Francis and Rodriguez, and then eventually Manoah competing for that 5th spot and being a long man in the bullpen to maybe potentially help strengthen the bullpen, which is, like, we only looked at closer and the 2 setup guys, and still just horrendous. After that, it falls off entirely. I know you're right, Toxic. I don't know about Springer as a leadoff anymore. That's fair. I pulled it off of roster resource, to be fair. That's just where they had him slotted. But no, like, the problem is, who else? Who's the great on-base guy that is going to be up there? Is Bo Bichette going to be leading off games? Maybe. But either way, like, it's still not very good. So yes, if they go out and get those 2 guys, then maybe you start to at least think about being able to compete with the Yankees and the Orioles and whatever the Red Sox are looking to do. But then it's still, you are still probably 2 or 3 bullpen pieces away. And I would suggest probably at least 1 more good bat away from really being able to consider yourself even in the hunt in the American League right now. So again, the frustration from a Blue Jay standpoint, where you just see all of these teams around you getting better, making the moves that they need, making smart moves that they need to get better, and your team is just sitting there getting a second baseman who is a below average hitter for the last 2 years. Fantastic. Life's great for the Blue Jays right now.